Have y'all started coming on over here? Have y'all started coming on over here from the podcast? Have y'all started coming over from the podcast of it all? Hello, beloveds. I'm double-fisted over here today. I'm ready for the conversation today. I've just been looking at some other breaking news that is just absolutely beyond my comprehension and understanding. But we are going to talk about a lot of stuff right now. I'm going to play the intro so that more people can come on over into the room. Okay, here we go. Welcome back, everybody. How are y'all doing out here? I'm gonna go on the Twitters of it all live now. Let the Twitterverse know that we are live now. Thank you guys for coming. What do we got going here? Show. Oh, hey, Tabitha. The other one I had to show it somewhere else. No way. This is your first live. Well, thank you so much for being here. I so very much appreciate you being here. Hello, hello, Melinda J. Hello, Miss Moderator. Thank you very much, honey. And Tabitha says, I just had my awakening last year about empaths and narcissists. Sad to say, I am married to one for 6 years now, together for 8. Let's just say this relationship definitely, I'm saying, almost took me out of here. I'm assuming that that's what you mean by that. Honey, I get it. Hey, Debbie. I'm going to turn the music off here for a little bit. It can almost take, it can literally, it can take you out. It can, I'm going to move that out the way. It can come close to taking you out. It can damn near take you out. It can, oh, y'all, you know what? Okay, here we go. There's that piece. Guys, in the camera, like it's reversed, so I don't always know which side is which. It could damn near take you out. I know it. And we're gonna let y'all up on the panel in just a minute too as well. I want to welcome some people in here. Hey Yolanda, how are you, love? Gigi Monroe, I love that name, by the way, says, I'm really good. I need your answer. All of your advice and answers you gave me were unbelievably. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not pulling cards tonight, sweetheart. I'm not pulling cards tonight. I maybe in a little while, but that really wasn't what I was on for. Tomorrow is Members Monday. And so I think it's like $1.99 or $2.99 to be a member. So you could just join, and then we'll be having Members Mondays tomorrow night. I'm going to get back on my square. And we ask quick questions, okay? So I appreciate it. I'm glad everything was right for you. Hey, Laugh Eggs and Gossip. Hey, hello, Tabitha. Oh, honey, I know it's tough. Like this whole situation makes for a tough road to go. First of all, let me just welcome everybody. I want to welcome you to the channel. Thank you to my OGs, my day ones that have been here from the very beginning. Thank you to those of you that just found me recently and you're here, right? And you're in such support of me. I don't even remember. I'm going to my channel right now because I tell you what, I don't remember when I started on YouTube. So it's only been 4 years. I feel like it's been longer. So I've been on YouTube 4 years. I joined February 21st. I think my first video though was like this month. I think this month makes my officially 4 years on the YouTubes of it all. And over the last 4 years, I've had a lot of people come and go and a lot of people stay. So I really, really do want to thank my OGs. I want to thank all you, everyone that's discovered me recently, because I've gone through a whole lot of metamorphoses and evolutions, right? So thanks, guys, for being here. I very much appreciate you all. And thank you guys for just supporting, right? If I haven't earned your subscription yet, I want to earn it. At least give us a like, right? And I just want to let you guys know that everything stated here in this video is opinion, interpretation, and conjecture. The only factual statements are those of the panelists' personal experiences. Okay, now that we got that mess out of the way. You're so welcome, dear. You're welcome. And Melinda, please do drop your link in the chat, as well as laughs, gags, and gossip over here on the YouTube streets. If you could drop your link in the chat as well, so people can come and find you and subscribe to you as well. Okay, so hopefully you guys got a chance to see the podcast. And if you haven't, you'll get a chance soon. I am going to drop the link. So I'm going to drop the link. Hopefully that went over to both YouTube and to Facebook, because technically you can be a part of it from both. And I'm going to pin the message. Oops, I almost clicked in stream. We don't want that. So if you guys want to get on here, and this is the first part, I don't know how many parts we're going to actually have. I don't know how many different parts we're actually going to have. I'm figuring at least 3 to 4, maybe even 5. I keep hearing 5, and talking about empaths and narcissists. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the super sticker, laugh, gags, and gossip. Thank you so much. Thank you for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate you, girl. Because this is a deep conversation. I used to have this conversation a lot when I first started 4 years ago. I think that's why I went back to look. I used to talk about this a lot because this was my life. This was my life. This whole, my father was a narcissist. I grew up in a very abusive household. I was not necessarily as physically abused as anybody else in the house, but I came to understand as a grown woman that I was put in a really bad position in being kind of like, my father used to treat me like I was his wife and would completely devalue my mother. So I was in this like weird spot I should never have been in, right? I think my therapist did call it like emotional, improper father-daughter relationship. I still can't wrap my brain around that label. Like, that's a little extreme for me. But I definitely was not in the right position. So, and then a series of different narcissistic relationships that ended up in my second marriage that ended in divorce. And he was a somatic, emotionally manipulative, diabolical narcissist. So I've lived this, and then, now with the slap, I wanted to talk about I wanted us to do a real deep dive into this discussion. Because I do get some healers and coaches, readers that come to me, and we decide to work together, and I help them create, these kinds of programs that can help women and men, but it's usually women, but women and men heal from this. But I felt like I needed to lay this baseline, because now with the whole Will and Jada, and Will assaulting Chris Rock, and then we're back to Will and Jada again, and now people have like resurfaced these videos that I've seen for years. Like, I've known Jada as a narcissist for years. It was very apparent to me, but being an empath that has been impacted by that narcissistic relationship, I get how people, like, even if Will were to come out and be like, she's abusing me mentally and emotionally, they're gonna be like, whatever. Like, those of you that have been through this know, they make you look like you're crazy. They make you look like you're completely insane. So I get it. Right? So I said, you know what? Let's lay down some baselines. So if you've been in or are currently in a narcissistic relationship, if you're trying to get out of said relationship, or if you just want to know how to handle it, let's talk. I want to know from you guys, what surprised you the most about my take on this? And this first episode is just about, we're just laying a baseline down. We're just talking about the cycles. That's all we're talking about here, is just the cycles. And I want us to like get that baseline. So you guys feel free to click the link. You try to tell people you're living in a Lifetime movie. You really are. You really are. And it's crazy. Like, and for some of us, it's a deeper Lifetime movie than others. For some of us, it's like the 2-part like miniseries or 3-part miniseries that you just can't help but like wait for like parts 2 and 3 of. Like, we couldn't just do this in like an hour and a half or 2 hours with commercials. And then what people don't realize is truth can be stranger than fiction, right? That's an old saying, but it's so true. Like, when I think about what I went through or what others have gone through, you'd be like, what? No, the people would tell me all the time I had to be telling a story. Like, I had to be lying. They don't believe you. It's crazy. So you guys I just dropped the link. Hopefully it worked. I'm gonna put it in YouTube. Oh yeah, it's there. So I just dropped the link, guys. If you want to come up and talk, you can. I okay, I'm also gonna talk about something here too. There's different types of narcissists, right? But I wanted to like, again, create a baseline of cycles. And honestly, that whole thing I literally just channeled today, because I had never kind of aligned, even in my own brain, how our empathic cycle of healing actually overlays and interwoven with the narcissist cycle. I should download that. Here we go. Wait. Here, I'm going to share this with you guys on the fly. Let's open this up. I'm going to open this up just a little bit, and I want to talk about. Now, I'm not going to be able to type over this, but I think what you guys are going to see, which just totally like shocked me as I was just listening. Oh my God. Okay. YouTube's talking to me. Shut up. All right. What shocked me when I was just like talking about this situation here. Hey, red violet crystals. Is the fact that, so this is one way of saying like love bombing, right? So the idealized, I could literally put cycle of empathic. I don't want to put abuse. It's almost abuse of ourselves. I don't know, empathic relationships maybe. So don't we as empaths idealize first? Don't we love bomb? Don't we? Okay, let's just be honest with ourselves and one another. Let's be honest. I could do this. This is good. Don't we go into these relationships or what have you, friendships, whatever they are, and we say, I see so much in you that you don't even see in yourself. Okay, I know I do. Y'all put a 1 in the chat if you are an empath and you have ever told someone when you first get into the situation with them, "Oh, I see so much more in you than you see in yourself." Give me a 1 in the chat. Give me a 2 if you have never done that, and I'm the only one. Now, I know I ain't the only one. Come on now. Come on now. Be honest. Be honest. Be honest. Don't we see so much more in them than they see in ourselves? They see in themselves. And we quick to tell them how much potential we see in them. And even if you don't tell them, you feel it deep down inside. It's like, girl, I know he ain't been worth a quarter anywhere else on God's green earth. But I see a good man in that one right there. I see a good man in that man right there. Come on, y'all. Stop playing. I'm not the only one. Be honest. I just lost people in the darn chat. Y'all did not want to be honest with me. Okay, anyway. So we go through the idealization on both sides. Now, there's a lot that goes into this whole gaslighting and smearing, then denying, and then idealization again. Hey, Louise, how you doing? Hey, Miss D Sweetness, how you doing? He's a good man, Savannah. Ooh. Stop playing, Melinda. So Tabitha, you just said this 2 days ago. Child, let me help you out. You needed this tonight, baby. Okay. So gaslighting. So you go through this idealization part, and then all of a sudden they start to play this revisionist history. Do you know how we play revisionist history? We play revisionist history. We make less of a situation as it has occurred. For example, por ejemplo. Thank you, Sean Ray, for your and welcome. Hey, baby. Thank you for your honesty. For example, I've done this numerous times. Somebody has, maybe a man has said something in a tone, maybe in front of your people or in front of other people. Maybe he conveniently doesn't, like, let's say it's a special occasion of some sort, but he conveniently doesn't bring you any flowers or doesn't call or doesn't, do anything special for just like normal stuff that you would expect. Like, you get a promotion, you expect your man to maybe take you out. When you call him and say, "Hey, baby, I got that promotion," you'd expect your man to take you out, wouldn't you? Or, maybe there's some flowers waiting for you at home. Or, maybe he just goes and gets you a card or, whatever. Maybe he's made your favorite meal by the time you get to the house or drawn your bath water or something. You'd expect a little something, wouldn't you? Or he just, he can never show up for events, family events or with certain friends, and you're continuing to make excuses for him. Even though good and gosh darn well at home, what had happened was he said, "I don't want to be around those people. I can't stand how you are around them. I can't stand them. That she's so full of herself and da 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 da, and she hates men and blah blah blah, and she mistreats her man and yada yada skippy. I see how he looks at you too. I don't care if he's married to her." Now I know I'm not the only one. The only one that's gone through this. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, the Jilkton. That's interesting. I love to honestly talk about this stuff. We got to be truthful about it. We got to be real. Right? So that's how we gaslight. That's the empath version. And I'm going to update this and we're going to keep going through this. I should update it and put this on my community tab when we're done. We gaslight, but we protect, right? We do like this revisionist history, or we don't exactly tell the complete truth because we're actually, in our mind, we're protecting our significant other, right? Why would we out them like that? Well, Tabitha, stick with me, baby. Okay, so now we're going to go through, there are so many levels, exactly. Christina, hey, Christina. Hey, girl, hey. We do lie to ourselves. We lie to ourselves and we lie to others because we want to believe the best. And like I said in my podcast, and if you didn't get a chance to listen to that, totally cool. You can go back. It's right here on YouTube. You can go back and listen to it when we're done here and then pick this back up again if you want, or you can listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, guys, Spreaker, and a bunch of other podcast platforms. But it is on Spotify and iTunes and iHeartRadio. So go on, and if you want to follow it there, you can do so as well. Now, and leave me a follow and a comment or two. Give me a little rating if you go over there to the Spotify's of it all, or the iTunes, Apple Podcasts of it all. Okay. So then we're gonna move to the discard. Now, you could say discard. I also like to say devalue here. There's a devaluation of you. So they're discarding you, they're devaluing you. This is the constant put down. This is the constant not adhering to your boundaries. This is the constant you can't do anything right. This is because during the idealization period, you know what else they've done during the idealization or the love bombing period? Like I said in my podcast, they've scanned you. And they have found your strengths and they have found your weaknesses. And they have found that little bit of work and that trauma and all this stuff that's going on within you that is unhealed, child. And they have found your Achilles heel. They have found the one thing and then the other things on top of that. But they've definitely figured out the one thing that if they drive a nail into that spot, if they pinch you in that spot, if they slice you down to the quick, right there, you'll drop to your knees and beg for mercy. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. I don't know if I'm the only one that ever went through that. Hey, Yolanda. Hi, honey. All of this was happening to me in my first marriage. You're 70 now, and I just didn't know what it meant. My God. My mom was the same way. Hey, Mod Squad 012. How you doing? Happy Sunday, baby. Hello, Jace. How are you, love? How are you? Hello, Luna Love and Light. Hello, darling. Yes, they tell you this too. I know you better than you know yourself. They say that often. They say that often. Right? Often. It's disgusting. But this is them discarding you. A lot of times, the discarding you or the devaluation period will be kind of going on simultaneously with the smear campaign. Sometimes, but not always. The good ones will keep it all going at the same time. Now, the discard for them is the devaluation. For the empath, it is the overvaluation. It is the inflation of it all. We, in this spot, we seek to build them up. The other party. The other party doesn't have to be a narcissist, beloved. This is the empath's methodology that I'm also speaking of. And I could probably bring something up so you could see this a little bit better. I might be able to figure this out real quick. Let me go over here. Oh my gosh, I found it so quickly the first time. Let me see if I see it over here. Okay, here we go. Copy. Make a copy. Actually, what I'm doing, guys, is I'm going to edit this while we're talking. But anyway, so and I'll put it up. But what we're gonna with the empath, as an empath, we will do this just in our natural, like this is who we are when we enter into any form of relationship with somebody. The unhealed empath is going to take on all of the other parties' issues and problems and responsibilities that truly belongs to them and all the accountability, and we're going to take it on because we're like, I can handle it, I can take it, right? The example I used in my podcast was that, we'll wash their dirty laundry, we'll put it in the dryer, we'll fold it up, and we'll hang up what needs to be hung up. And then we'll tell them, go back over here, honey. I've cleaned up all your garbage, I've cleaned up all your mess. And now you can just kind of walk into a whole new aura with all your chakras aligned, and I've done it all for you. And then we got to run off and take all kinds of spiritual baths and sage till the cows come. Sage till the cows come home, you know what I'm saying, and do all this, cleansing, because we've taken on all their crap. Right? Right? Jace, I'm so glad you could catch a live too. Mod Squad, I hoped you didn't know it. I really hoped you didn't. But unfortunately, this is very, very common. So we go through this. So for us, it is this empower. This is this inflationary period where we're actually taking on their stuff. You know what I'm saying? So while they're devaluing us, we're overvaluing them. We're doing the build up, right? We're building them up. We're reconstructing. We're like, no, it's okay. It's all right. I understand. I understand. Just tell me. I know that you don't want to be this mean, but just tell me what's going on. How can I help you? How can I make it better? What can I do so that you trust me? Because you've told me that every other man or woman has cheated on you. How can I convince you I'm never going to leave because you told me that every other person that you've ever loved has left you, including your own mother, and abandoned you? So I completely understand why you lash out so much. You don't mean to. I get that why you don't trust, but I'm going to do everything in my power to help you learn to trust me, to help you learn to love and to trust, because I know I can make a huge difference, because I know I can do this for you. Because if you just stay with me, I know that I can help you heal. I know that I can be your savior. Does that sound familiar in coming from our mouths? Is there anybody else other than me? And if it's just me, that's cool, man. I'm cool with that. Then it's just me. They go and mess it all up again, don't they? I'm so sorry that Mod Squad, you had 15 years of that. They smell weakness from a mile away. Am I the only one that's ever done that? Let's put a one in the chat. Have you ever done that too, baby? Have you guys ever done that too? Can you put a one in the chat if you've ever done it? So while they're discarding us and acting like we don't exist, Here, I'm going to make this pink. Hang on. What did I call this? This empath. What are we doing? Empathic. I'm going to put air quotes. I'm going to put quotes over around healing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I feel like it's not really healing that we're doing. We're kind of doing them a huge disservice. Here, cycle of empathic healing. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually see if I can't put these together. But I'm going to open this up. And then, okay. All right. I wanted to be sure that I got that put together. Okay. So we've got that one. And now I want to share. So we got the discarding, and then we've got the empathic healing. I'm going to try to share the second one. I don't know if I'll be able to. And then let me do this. Let me stop sharing. Let me hide this. And then I'm going to go open up this one. Great. Awesome. And then let's also share this one. Oh, shoot. That's fine. They'll both be open. Okay. So we had idealized, then we'd excused their behavior, then we inflated their whole ego. Now what we would do then is we would defend them. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And they do try to break your confidence. Yes, absolutely. We're going to get to that in a minute. And then we would defend them. This is the cycle of like empathic, what we think of as healing. Really, we're being a martyr. This is not really helping anybody. Can I just say that this is not helping anybody? And we'll figure that out as we go forward. But this is why, if I were to overlay the two, and I will promise you, I will make an overlay of the two, it is amazing to me. It is actually absolutely amazing to me what Spirit shared with me when I was doing that podcast that literally was channeled. So where here is the smear campaign for them. Okay. For us, it is, we're going to defend them. So we're going to defend their actions to the bitter end. We're going to make all kinds of, it's almost the same time as excusing their behavior. But we're going to be on defense. We're either going to defend them or we're going to defend ourselves. But we're playing defense at this point because we've kind of inflated their ego and we've become this martyr, and we've inflated our own ego and thought that we could be their savior. Guys, I got to tell you this. I mean, there's a reason why this happens. And we have to take some accountability for why it happens. Because if we don't take accountability for why and how, we can never get out of it. We will never break the cycle. We'll think we're breaking the cycle because we'll stay alone for forever. That's not breaking the cycle, that's just avoiding it. Oops. I'm sorry. But staying single for the rest of your life is not breaking the cycle, it is avoiding it. It's not healing. And I'm not saying that you have to get into another relationship. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying if you're not to the point where you could at least even think about getting into another relationship, then you've not healed. Or at least be like settled. Where the thought of a relationship doesn't like send you screaming into the next room like so quickly that people are like, oh my God, what did you say? Right? Yeah, there is a big difference. I don't mean to offend anybody, not trying to offend you, because you don't have to be in a relationship, right? I'm technically not in a relationship right now. I have a situationship and it works for me. Am I open to the possibility? Sure. Do I need it? No. But do I have such an aversion to it that I am unwilling to even remotely like be open to it? Like a man or a woman can't even look my way. Don't, God, then we're still hurt, right? We got to go through that healing process. Liz Shane said, hey, hi, honey. It takes a lot of this, and it trust me. I've been through my fair share of therapy, and I've done my fair share of coaching and counseling. It's crazy. Anyway, so we get into defense mode, right? Now, don't forget, their version is what they're doing to us on the other side is, I really want you to do this. Okay. Is they're smearing. So what'll happen is out in the public, they will do things like maybe on social media that you don't even see. They'll talk about you as if, you're the worst thing ever. The worst wife, the worst husband, the worst daughter, the worst sister, the worst friend ever. Take your pick. The worst employee, insert whatever here. Sometimes to your face, they'll say that you're foolish, or in front of other people, like in public, and totally embarrass you that way. If you're not physically in a relationship with them, but you still have contact with them, they'll like send horrific emails to you all the time. And that it's a version of the discard or the devalue mixed in with the smear. But usually they go on this like crazy campaign. And anytime you talk to somebody about the situation and they either are before you or after you discussing the situation between the two of you, it's such a gaslit, like crazy pants, like, what planet do you live on? None of this ever happened the way you just described it. And I can't believe that sane, rational people are actually believing this fool right now. Because they make you look nuts. Hey, I'm doing good, honey. How are you? Why do they smear you? Oh, that's a very good question, Laugh Gags and Gossip. Why do they smear us? Because they need to exert control. Their need for control in every area is really the paramount driver to this behavior. And any energy that's given over towards them is supply. So say for instance, yep, Melinda, that's very good. It boosts their ego. That's true. So say for instance, my ex, which he did, he would go to like my friends that I introduced him to, my friends, and his own, and he would say really nasty things about me. Like he would say that, oh God, he told one of his friends that I didn't, it was a lot like Jada Pinkett Smith. He told one of his friends that I was not satisfactory in the bed. Now it got back to me. And then he said that I was like withholding that and we hadn't had any in like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. But of course, he negates to tell them what he did that precipitated me not having any desire until I got some test results back just in case. Because, yes, that I know that he was being unfaithful the whole time before I caught him. Absolutely. But I was just being like, whatever. That was my only way. So, so then what happens is that he then gets sympathy, so kind of like secondary supply from his friend, and that's satisfying, right? The energetic need. When I hear about it, then I'm livid. So he'll take that from me because I'm livid and I'm hurt. They'll take hurt and pain from us as their supply just as easily as they'll take love and adoration. It makes no difference to them. They just need our life energy. It doesn't. Oh, there's Gemini. I literally just thought for a moment that my cat had escaped out during the, because it was warm here today. So there was a lot of in and out of the house, in and out of the garage door. And I hadn't seen Gemini all day. And I just thought, where's my cat? And she's down there sleeping. Anyway, so they'll take that as well. It's so there's an exertion for control, an activation of supply, and the more that they can make us look like complete nut jobs out in the world, the more control they have over us, the more they can say, see, nobody else is ever going to want you because of blah, 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 blah. Right. And they look fabulous because we're not out there talking about them. Yolanda says, it's sad, but I don't even want to be within 10 miles of my first husband. No. Okay. Let me explain this. Can I just say this, guys? Okay. Here, let me explain this. When I said what I said before, I did not mean that you would want to get back into relationship with the narc. Absolutely not. Like, I don't want to be within probably 100 miles of mine. Can I be? Absolutely. Would I probably spit in his face? I might. Depends on what day it is. Depends on if the moon is in Aries or not, and if he says something slick to me. I'm just being honest. I'm still human, regardless of everything else. I am still an energetic being having a human experience, which means I experience human emotions, which means I owe you a couple, 3 or 4 for the mess you put me through, home slice. And then had the unmitigated gall. Once he married the side piece, the main side piece, because he had 5 total, maybe 6. Once he married the main side piece, they moved like 20 minutes, 25 minutes away from me. Why? You have like a whole state. Why in God's name would you bring the winner of the side chick sweepstakes and y'all buy a house 25 minutes from me? Riddle me that, Batman. Can somebody help me understand that? Anyway, Where was I? So what I meant by the previous statement was just that I knew that I had really gotten some awesome and amazing healing once I was able to like actually date, and I could actually open up my heart to somebody else and trust them, right? Or once I could even conceive of the possibility of maybe possibly dating. Okay. So that's definitely, so I want you guys to understand that I never want anybody to go back to their narc ever. Oh, good. I'm glad you're home. Yep, went to friends and family. They will do that in such, like, my ex went to my friends and family. I'm protecting myself. Yeah, that's true. Hey, D Virgo 2222. How are you, honey? I have not been over there. I've been so busy. How are you, sis? Who's in here? Melinda J, if you could put D Virgo Tarot 2222, the link to her channel in the chat, that'd be great. So y'all go check her out. She's on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok that I know of. I want to him and her too. I know, right? Kanye. No, it's not that bad. Listen, we don't have any childrens. We don't have any kids together. So there was no need for you to move, like I said, the winner of the side chick sweepstakes 25 miles from me. Kanye has children by this woman. And clearly, there seems to be a need to have daddy somewhere close around so that she will not put an 8-year-old little girl on the lap of a comedian that just was joking about what he would do with little babies. Now, I didn't intend to go to this level in this space, but we here now. Now, I know not everybody in this chat is melanated, but I'm going to need all my melanated sisters, all my melanated mamas, all my melanated people. On what planet would any of y'all family have ever allowed that to happen? An 8-year-old girl darn near doesn't even sit on her own daddy's lap, let alone another man, let alone riding around by yourself, let alone another man that just sang about what they would do with babies. Can I get a witness in the chat? Now, you want to talk about a disgusting narcissistic individual? That's another one. We're going to talk about the female narcissist, y'all, because I'm tired of the females getting away with it. That is a definite narcissist right there. That's highly inappropriate. That's disgusting, right? Inappropriate, creepy. I got a witness. Thank you. Hallelujah. On the target. Latoya says yes. We ain't doing that. Corey, my sister Corey, never, ever, ever, ever. Let alone with another. We just don't, we don't do that. We don't do that. Kim K, that's who would allow it. Now, so I'm gonna need Kanye to buy that house next door. Now y'all see why Kanye was gonna buy that house next door. Y'all was all over talking about he's stalkerish and he's this and he's that. Nope. No, he was not. That man there was protecting his kids, specifically North. Thank you, D Virgo Tarot. Thank you for the super chat. Keep being transparent. You're amazing. Thank you, Lovey. So I'm gonna need y'all to take all that down talking to my boy Kanye back. Take it back. Because that man was just protecting his kids. Y'all don't know Kim like he know Kim. Y'all don't know Kim like he know Kim. I know Kim. I seen that before. Okay, never ever. Okay, now that we got that together, he knows. He knows. So I'm gonna need y'all to take it on back. I'm gonna go around on the YouTube streets and get apologies from everybody. Okay, I'm gonna get the apologies. I'm gonna go collect them. He has his issues, you darn right, but I bet you what? I bet you his baby ain't gonna be sitting on his own lap, and that's his blood. Nasty cow. How in the heck you gonna? How you gonna have? How you? I know I listen, but there's a difference between mental health and plumberly crazy and just stark raving nasty, and that is nasty. I'm gonna send it on to Kanye Laugh Gags Gossip. I'm gonna send her on. Anyway, and actually, Kim K is a real good here. I got y'all. That's a real good example. She idealized that man for how long? Now, truth be told, word on the curb was when he met her, he was worth $6.8 billion. Now he's worth $2.6 billion. Now they got 4 children, so I'm going to assume that each of those kids has a healthy, hefty trust fund, which is what he was talking about. Oh, y'all done got off on a whole nother subject, y'all. Damn. Which is what he was talking about in the divorce papers back and forth, why he did not want her to be labeled as single. The only reason she wanted to be labeled as single is so that she wouldn't look like the herish person she is, hanging out with the disgusting, making creepy conversation about children, and his friends make creepy statements about children. They creepy. They creepy. Him and his friend have been involved in some crazy stuff. I'm gonna have to bring it to y'all. They've been involved in some crazy-ish, I'm gonna tell you. But if you might remember, I don't know how close y'all was following it, but one of Kanye's points was such and such and so and so who would have, he didn't want anything decided upon because there had not been a decision made about some trusts. And everybody was like, but y'all had a prenup. It ain't about the adults. It's about that she done birthed $4 billion worth of mixed biracial babies. Can somebody give me? I know I got a witness somewhere. I know one of y'all. See, y'all got to catch up to these Kardashians. Y'all got to catch up. Y'all sleep. She got $4 billion worth of Kanye's DNA over there. All under the age of 18. She wasn't going to get none of Kanye's money. But she got $4 billion of melanated babies over there. That's what she got. She hit the jackpot. And it's very important to know which, for it to be delineated, which or both parents have say so over that money, those trust funds. Okay. I done gone, so I'm gonna have to retitle this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna end up splitting it. I didn't go as far as I wanted to go with this, but we're gonna talk about this here. This we got to talk about because I might have to be pulling up some other receipts. I'm gonna drop the link again. Hey Rosie, I'm gonna drop the link again. I will end up splitting this live. because we went an hour. That's fine. Let me make sure. We could be talking about Kanye a little bit more. So I want to go back now, just to recap. Kanye crazy, but he ain't that crazy. He wouldn't have had his baby riding around on no man's lap. Matter of fact, he wouldn't have put her on the lap. Kanye just has bipolar. It's a common disorder. At least we know exactly. He would never be a pedo. Thank you. I would not even allow my child to sit on pizza. There you go. Hey, sis.
Hey.
Excuse me. Hold on. Like, child, this just cannot go on. God ain't through with Kanye. I know God ain't through with Kanye. I know. I believe it. I believes it from the bottom of my heart. Uh, he gonna be all right. He gonna be all right. It's them babies I'm worried about, and he will protect his kids with his life. Absolutely. I'm just catching up, y'all. Yes, she was taught about. Okay, let's talk about Kim, and let's talk about Kanye. Let's talk about Kim and her nasty self.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I didn't fully put two and two together until very recently when I was watching some more stuff, and I was like, because it didn't make sense to me in the divorce paperwork or when he was filing motions to like not have her be declared single without getting everything else settled. And in those motions he kept saying the trust funds. And none of us really understood what was going on. But she
Yeah.
got $4 billion of babies over there.
Yeah.
What a bee. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. She could do what Michael Jackson did. He can do, excuse me, what Michael Jackson did. He had all of his children's money put in trusts. And the only person that can distribute that trust was the trustees that he put forth. And no one else, he even put Miss Catherine's money in a trust. So none of the siblings could touch her money. She can't lend it to nobody, and nobody can get it. So if he does that, and I'm pretty sure he did that, hopefully, that only the trustee has decision and can make the final say of what's done with those monies.
There must be some sort of loophole. I agree with you, but there must be some sort of loophole, which is why he kept making that a priority.
Yeah.
So, um, we we got a question about, is this why Kim has a sudden interest in law? Uh,
Yes.
I, yeah, and I have heard that there are other issues that potentially could be popping up, legal issues for the Kardashian clan. I don't want to go too deep off into that conspiracy theory rabbit hole at the moment, but thus far, conspiracy theories have all turned out to be conspiracy fact. You just need to give it a little bit of time. So I'm hearing that they could potentially be in some other legal trouble, which is why she needed to get herself together. They needed a lawyer in the house.
Mm.
They needed a lawyer in the house. I do like Kanye's vulnerability. I do think, though, that Kanye, somebody said something about it. If his mama had been alive, that they wouldn't, he wouldn't have ended up with Kim. He would not have.
Exactly.
That's a possibility.
I don't know why I hope North does, but my problem with this is that what, even if it's in a trust, she could petition the court for funds. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Depending upon how that trust is created and how it's maintained. Um, and I'm quite sure, I don't think he thought that she would end up trying to do this to him. Don't you think so? Do you think that he thought this was going to happen to him?
Yeah, he's like let's put it in context of what we were talking about earlier.
Hmm.
He's that abused woman to say, "Oh, it'll never happen to me. I've been there." It has happened to me. Oh, he would never do that to me because he loves me. But it
Yes.
happened.
Yes. Yes.
In a sense, he's a mentally abused man.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think to look at it like that until now. But he's still a little kooky.
Well, yeah, he is. Listen, my heart goes out to those that are a little touched. Okay. So because he's a musical and in other ways just genius and savant. He just doesn't express himself. Like even when he made, everybody's ready to cancel him for the slavery commentary that he made, right? That slavery was a choice. And I'm like, bruh, you needed to say the rest of your statement and in such a way that TMZ couldn't chop it up and make you look like a fool. Because really what he was trying to talk about was the kind of spiritual esoteric concept of we can create our own world. So that if we want to get out of a slave mentality and a slave mind, that it is within our ability and dare I say rights to restructure ourselves to that point where we're out of a slave mind. But they cut him off because I heard the whole statement and the whole statement was incredibly deep.
Okay.
But they cut him off, right? And they chopped him up to make him look stupid. But of course they're going to do that because he's a multi-billion-dollar man at this point. They got to keep making this multi-billion-dollar man look crazy.
Yeah.
They have to. And did you know they tried to put him in a 51? They tried to put him in a conservatorship.
Yes. And for the children, I thought, thank God for that, because I don't like that woman, but I fear for every last Kardashian Jenner child because they're all in peril. Every last one of them are, because what's being ingrained and chopped and screwed and put in their heads will make them all.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to be nice here. Will make them all absolutely positively worthless as people. Because of their foundation is worthless.
I agree with on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the values that they're teaching their own kids is horrible. It's despicable. And I've never seen a parent do that before in my life. And again, I've only been living for like a good 25 winters.
But so let me just ask you this, Chronicles. If you had an 8-year-old child, boy or girl, would you let them have a TikTok?
No.
Okay, good.
Not in this time space continuum, because that can lead to a lot of things. Stalkers and God knows what else follow on TikTok. They can single your child out and everything can happen. Anything can happen. I would not let my children on TikTok if I had any.
Yeah, that was too much for me.
Yeah, I would worry for their safety every single day they have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was my thing with that. I was like, why are you putting your child out here? And like, she's teaching her how to be a social media influencer icon when she needs to be learning multiplication. Like, unless I'm missing something here. Like, shouldn't you be learning like fractions or something, like, and not learning how to be a social media like influencer?
Exactly. They should be learning multiplications, divisions, basically everything the schools are not teaching us.
Pretty Dime. Oh, Pretty Dime, the wordsmith. I like that name, sweetheart. Says, I have an 8-year-old daughter. No social media allowed, period. Yep. Can't even browse YouTube Kids without my supervision. Like, I had to do the same with my granddaughter as well. Like, you can't, like, we've had to do the same thing. You can't even go through YouTube Kids. There's so much on YouTube Kids that's like borderline, like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen YouTube Kids. It's a whole nother beast entirely.
It is completely a whole nother beast. So let's dive deeper into this whole like Kim is the crazy narcissist and I don't trust her and I don't particularly care for her. Oh hey, look at who's joined the party. Hey Smoke.
Hey, Smoke.
What up, Smoke?
Hey y'all. Good evening.
Good evening.
Now the party can begin.
The party and the can begin. I just did my taxes and I just feel stressed.
Oh,
Oh,
did you need to borrow a child? You need a deduction?
I wish I could, but you know what? The Uncle Sam, did right by me this year, so you know what? I can't complain.
Okay, good.
I can't complain. But what we talking about? We talking about narcissists, and then I heard Kardashians. What's the tea?
Child, let me tell you something. I saw a mother pay a photographer photo shoot a 5-year-old for 2 hours on the beach. Well, that's a photo shoot is different. Like we're talking social media. Like this girl is taking selfies and mouthing words to songs she shouldn't even know what they mean at 8 years old. Like the
Full
lyrics,
makeup.
like and full makeup and sitting on grown men's laps. So I don't even Smoke. I wish I could tell you how we got here, but I'm not sure how the detour happened. But the detour happened, and we're talking about empaths and narcissists and how that over time there's a devaluation, there's the smear campaign and all of these things, and they do this to continue to exercise massive amounts of control over you as a supply. And somehow we got to Kim K because I'm tired of female narcissists not being exposed for who they are.
Right.
And the fact that when Kanye married her, he was worth 6.8 billion with a B.
Right.
Now, 4 children later, he's worth 2.8 or 2.6 billion with a B.
How?
So my hypothesis is 1 billion each went into a trust for each of them 4 children. So she got $4 billion worth of melanated babies over there. You gonna want to make sure this man looks absolutely crazy. You gonna put on the best smear campaign ever. Why? So you can control them trusts.
But here's the thing that I feel like that's not gonna work in her favor, because let's say they do go to court and they do have kind of just a discussion of like who's a more suitable parent. If Kanye really wants to, he can kind of bring up Kim's instability in her relationships and her relationship history throughout time before it got to him. So like that kind of evens the playing field. At least if I was a judge sitting there, I'm like looking like, well, you sitting here saying this man is not right. He could just get some therapy, take some meds, and be under the right care to get right to look after the kids. You, on the other hand, you're like a serial dater. You have different men meeting your children and you don't know what their intentions and they could possibly harm them, allegedly, because we don't want to throw that out there. But if Pete is making a joke about a little kid doing something, I would be very concerned about having any of the children near him, better yet on their lap, driving around. So I'm like, it's just a level of respect. Even if you don't agree with your partner, you have to just have certain lines you don't cross, as far as like, nah, like that ain't gonna fly. Don't do that. Period.
Exactly. However, a woman's dating history does not tend to come into play, just like a man's doesn't in a court case.
Oh, snap.
I wouldn't.
Who has legal custody of the kids right now? Because in the United States, depending on what state you're in, the mother does not have custody of the kid. No one does.
I think Kim does.
Kim does.
Does she?
Kim does, but the thing is there's the custody agreement has not been fully agreed upon, which was another reason why Kanye did not want even part of the divorce to get finalized, because she's been hemming and hawing. See, this is the other thing. There's all these lies being told. She's the one that's been holding things up. She'll say, this is a perfect narcissist. This is a perfect example.
Yes.
She's saying, oh, he won't sign the papers. He won't sign the papers. He won't sign the papers because he won't sign the papers you want him to sign. He won't sign away all of his rights. He won't sign away complete and control of those trusts over to you. And he only gets basically scraps of whenever you so choose and desire. Right? To allow him to see his children. See, he won't agree to what she wanted agreed upon. And that's why he wouldn't sign the papers. But the narcissist is going to spin it as if, see, look at that crazy man over there. And he didn't make it no better. Can I just say, come in here talking, I want my wife back. Now, Kanye, if you listening, shut up. Don't say that mess no more. You don't want that succubus woman back. Leave her where she at. Okay, leave her. You need a sister. That's what you need. You need a melanated woman.
Amen.
No offense to nobody else.
She's literally a Caucasian because her people are from the Caucasus Mountains.
Yep.
Wait, where are they from again? Like they're from like Eastern
Armenia.
Europe?
Armenia.
Yeah, that's dang, I wish they taught us anything in school.
Yeah. He needs someone that's going to have grown up in the same way, have the same, cultural background and be able to, right? That's what he needs.
Okay?
But isn't Kanye colorist himself?
Well, clearly by how he dates. Listen, what you need and what you do is two different things a lot of times, David.
Because I'm like, Kanye, like he had I can't remember the last black woman he was with, to be honest. I was about to say Amber Rose, but I was like, well, she's biracial, so she's
biracial. That's as close as he was gonna get.
Yeah.
Besides the original girlfriend.
That's right.
Who's the original girlfriend? Stacey Dash?
No, he was with this sister who was into fashion. She was into fashion so much. That's how she put him on game. That's how he was able to put Kim on game. The girl she had everything together. But the thing about it is, with some black men, if you get a black woman who's put together so well by her people that they are intimidated by it. That's how I wound up with most of my narcissists in life.
Wow.
I got my father.
You didn't have to bring him up.
But that's how I feel.
Okay.
Okay, baby.
And then where's Penelope and Scott? I mean, not Penelope and Scott. Penelope is the girl. Where is Courtney and Scott?
Oh, well, okay, we're gonna get to that in a minute.
Courtney's sitting there helping Travis get his seed out for their baby.
Yeah.
Allegedly. No, wrong Courtney, wrong sister. Sorry. Wait, no, Courtney's the right one. She's
you got the right sister. She just got married to Travis Scott. She just got married to Travis Scott. She went through her little, I guess she got tired of being the good girl out of the group, basically, and went ahead and went got dressed in black, went ahead and got her a tattooed man, and now she finna make some more. Now she's talking about she wants some more babies.
How many she have right now? 3 already?
Yeah, she's got 3 now, and now she want more babies by Travis. Because Scott's running around with other people now, so he's not the available baby daddy.
And he fool la la with Lisa Rinna and her.
No, they broke up.
Mm-hmm.
They broke up.
Yeah, that was. Oh, Laughs must not could have listened. Who's Alex and Alexis? Who's Alexis? Melinda, are you talking about Kanye's ex?
Oh, that's her name. Okay.
I
couldn't think of her name. But her grandmother was into fashion.
I just wanted to jump in and talk about I think Hearts of Inspiration, I've talked to you previously about my custody, which was in California. So, in terms of who has custody, that is generally decided by the judge. In my particular instance, because most time people don't, there's no, when you're married, or even if you're not married, custody is not really divided if you're living together. So what happened in my instance is that my daughter had been with me, for the primary, like, all of her life. And at 8, her dad decided he wanted joint custody. And so what happened, which I think most women don't know this, somebody told him if he picked her up from school and he filed the papers, if he had custody at that time, then he could say that he was the primary parent. And so the only saving grace for me was the fact that I hadn't put his name on the birth certificate. So in California, it's like whichever parent has them, if they're filing and they have the custody of that child, then the other parent will have to go to the court and try to get their, privileges or custody. So that's how it's here. So you don't, like, a lot of people, if you're not married, a lot of women don't even know that if custody is not decided and it's not by court order, if the father has that child or the mother, and the other parent, wants to say that I want to see my kid, if they don't turn the kid over to you, it's whoever has custody of that child at the time of the filing. And then the court will give you like an emergency hearing to decide like who should be the custodial parent, the primary custodial parent, until it goes through all of the proceedings.
Yes,
So
but sorry.
go ahead, Chronicles.
Sometimes the courts see cases like this through the eyes of gender bias, and it is not always a desired outcome of the parent who's filing for custody.
You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. One of the problems that I experienced as an African American, and both of us being Black, is the fact that most of the mediators and the judges are non-Black. So I just felt like, they don't really understand the dynamics of a Black family. And even beyond that, they just have a job to do. And so basically they're just deciding custody based on finances, where the kid typically resides and things like that. But I don't think they go in depth enough to really look at what is really in the best interest of the child. I had to fight very, very hard to retain the custody that I had, but fortunately I had a mediator, and I even fought that too. My first mediator was a woman, and she tended to be biased towards men. That's what I mean, you have to understand who your mediator is. It's a lot of work. You really have to represent yourself. And so I got a lot of information where people said what you need is a male mediator who will not buy the BS from a narc. And once I got the male mediator, it changed for me. But again, it's a fight. It's a battle. Men are quick to be swayed by men. And if the man is kind of decent looking or good looking, women, I don't care if they're white or Black, they can be swooned. And again, we got narc behavior, and they can paint you to make you look so bad. And not to overtake your panel, but I'm just going to share an incident. We had to take parenting classes because I fought for my life. So I was like, I'll take parenting. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to delay my child's life being disrupted. So I agreed that we both had to take parenting. I only had to take it for like 3 weeks. He had to take it for 3 months because I had been the primary custodial parent. Well, we had to take parenting classes together. I missed the first class. So when I came to the second class, he had already, made it to the first class. When I came to the second class, it was like maybe 4 women and maybe 3 men. Just everybody was giving me the cold shoulder. And I'm like, wow, I don't even know these people. We were the only Black couple in the class. After the class was over, and I think maybe by the third meeting, some of the women, we finally started talking, like, why are you here? What's your situation? And they told me, they said, girl, that man had talked so bad about you. He had the whole class crying. And they were like, but you're such a nice person. Like the women, they were saying, we hated you before you even came. That man trashed me and had them people thinking I was the lowest of the low. And I was like, What? And I'm thinking, we're all in a parenting class. Why would you believe it? But then again, narcs are able to do that.
Oh my gosh, they're so convincing.
They want to isolate you from the people who media people who are around you. I've had that experience before where someone that I'm friends with them now. They're a narc that's recovered basically, and like they really address that stuff where like they were telling people stuff and people were just looking at me crazy. I'm like, what's the issue? And then when they finally tell me, what you said?
Yes.
Wait, last, what were you saying?
No,
go
I'm
ahead.
saying I'm
She's
agreeing. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so yeah, and I was just like, wait, what? And now I'm like, no, that's not it. And so I kind of know how to just deal with narcs on my own. I just don't give them like any air to breathe. I kind of just let them suffocate. And actually no, I kind of just leave them be, because once they don't feel they have that level of control or importance in your life, they tend to die off very quickly and they don't want to be bothered with you anymore. It's like, cool, I got
exactly.
you.
Yes, but you gotta remember that some judges, especially the white judges, they have their own agenda.
Mm-hmm.
There's also
So true.
classism involved, if I'm not mistaken.
It usually it is. You're right. In this case, it's very interesting because technically he's much more wealthy than she is. And I think at the beginning, I would agree with what Pretty Dime says. Yes, he should have rights, but his behavior has been so public. The public views him as insane, and Kim seems to be doing things to try to make him go off to make her case stronger. I think also that unfortunately we don't, because wow, this is going to be a deep statement to make. Because of the vilification of Black men, period, the moment one acts differently or has some sort of whatever we deem as mental health, or he does have some mental health issues, and especially depending upon how it's perceived, against whom this is perceived as, it's very easy to make him look like he is an angry Black man that would be another O.J. Simpson.
Yes.
Yeah.
When he is furthest from that. I think the best thing that he did was listen to whomever told him to get off social media and let this all come out in court documentation. Because if you listened to his last like multi-clip, whatever, he said some very poignant things. He said that more than once North was supposed to be with him, and Kim decided she's just going to stay here. No, she's just going to stay here. She was supposed to put North on a plane, put the other kids on the plane, and kept North back. Why are you trying to keep the 8-year-old? Like, that to me is giving me creepy. What are you
into?
I can't say that word here and still remain monetized. What are you preparing her for?
Wait, is it the G word you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
That's now a word that can't be said. In some, I'm not sure. Some cases it'll get flagged. Some cases it won't. So I'm just not gonna do it. What are you preparing her for? What are you getting her ready to do? You know, and then to me in the court system, if I'm Kanye, see, this is the best way to get a narc. You sit back and just let them spin themselves out of control and just record it the whole time it's happening. And as long as your child isn't majorly injured, we pray. But between now and then, all he's now going to have to do is come into court and say, Your Honor, she is right now with a man. They'll probably be engaged, child, by the time.
Oh gosh.
They get she will. With a man who has done this, who has said this, who I'm very concerned. Also, this is, and he can, if he's got a good mouthpiece for an attorney, will be like, these are all precursors to behavior that a young girl her age should not be engaging in.
Mm-hmm.
Also, these are the litany of times she has not already upheld her end of the bargain as far as my time with my eldest child very specifically. I don't understand why this one is so important.
Lisa, let me ask you this. I think oftentimes, so when, it varies by state, but the courts are very literal and they don't go by what you perceive to be a threat. Unfortunately, I agree with what you're saying. I had a lot of concerns as a parent. I had concerns about my daughter being with her dad in adult, because him and his future wife, they would go to parties and my daughter would be around adults where she would be the only minor, the only child. For me as a mom who didn't do any of that, that was a concern. The court said you are projecting and that's something you believe that could happen, but it's not a fact. And so those kind of things and let me just say this, because Kanye has, and I'm not defending Kim, so don't get me wrong, but I'm just looking at it from my personal experience. Kanye has had North in environments where it's been like that football game where it's all adult males drinking liquor and things like that. So me as a mother, that would concern me. So I don't know that all of the kids, I think their lifestyle on both ends is questionable to me, just because I'm just the type of parent that was a cheer coach and very much into doing things that were very child friendly. So all of their environment to me is too adult and inappropriate and would expose them to things that could harm them on both sides.
But okay, so I'm a devil's advocate.
Sure.
I think, though, in the court's eyes, wouldn't you think that a man that has made, I don't believe it's just only one inappropriate joke. I feel like there's been multiple inappropriate jokes about what this man would do with a child. And he and his best friend have participated in some, have created some videos and things like that, where they're talking, it's an animated video, but they're talking about things that they would do to a child. Don't you think that would be, like, even if Kim brought up, well, yeah, he's got North around the fellas and they're drinking beer, watching football. I gotta think that the court would view this, because this is not just innuendo now. You're making multiple statements. This is very questionable at best.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have a smoking gun that you've done it.
Right.
But this is showing some very questionable concerns.
Well, I agree with you. Unfortunately, the courts and the people that are making the decisions don't always see it the way that we see it. Trust me, I would say the same thing, but for one, he's never been convicted of it. Number two, Kim is not married to him. So they're going to look at, you could say that anybody could do something to the children, right? He's made some questionable statements, but those aren't illegal statements. That's an issue of morality. They're not illegal. So that's how they're going to look at it. And I get what you're saying. So somebody's going to have to make a personal judgment. And unfortunately, I don't think they make the right decisions all the time.
I think if he's got a good enough attorney, by the time we're through, we are thinking this man would have done the worst. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not that we necessarily should, but we would have raised it. I think a good attorney would raise enough. I also feel like he's going to give her enough rope to hang herself. That's why he's being quiet.
I feel like the fact that he's done now, the thing that for me, that could be a real issue that maybe he could use is the fact that I believe didn't the guy do drugs and had some issues with that? Yes, I don't know if there have been convictions. So those are things that he's actually done that are that's illegal. So I think those kind of things he could really lean on. In terms of the comments that he's made, They're horrible to us.
Are you
But we
saying
look at our society when we even got this thing NAMBLA, man boy love, not in my backyard, whatever. Right. So we got people in the system that are like, not so bad, right?
I have a question last. Are you saying that Kanye should bring up Pete's drug history as a strategy to win custody of the kids in court?
I'm saying based on what Lisa's saying in terms of his past behavior statements, that those to me would have a bigger impact than a comedic statement that is more about your morality. If he hasn't done anything, that's just a statement and it's in poor taste. And we can all say that that's sick or disgusting, but it's not against the law. If you've done illicit drugs and you've had some issues, you've done some criminal behavior. So as an attorney, you need to present, the word is escaping me now, but you need to present things that are real issues and facts. So we know that he has a history of, just that's a moral issue. Should he have said those comments? We think it's disgusting. The man is still on Saturday Night Live, that he didn't lose his job behind it. So there are people who think it's okay.
Doesn't say much, but
right.
Anyway.
I agree.
I worry that if he goes down that route, Kim might try to expose his stuff as well. We don't know if Kanye has done. I don't know if he's done like drugs that are hardcore.
He has.
Has he ever gotten convicted of it, charged or anything though?
Not convicted, but he has a history of opioid addiction.
That's not good.
And that's not good. That's not going to work for him.
Admitted.
Well, so they're going to be mudslinging at each other, basically.
Right. It's going to be a bloodbath for those children.
Yeah, and the problem is she has one of the top divorce attorneys in LA. Laura Watson does not play. She will take a man down at the knees. So my thing is, he needs to get like Mark Garagos, or have Mark Garagos try to recommend someone to him, because she's a shark.
She's a Leviathan.
I think he just got a new, because he was going to have Christopher Melcher, but I don't think, because Christopher Melcher has a YouTube channel. I've seen him before. He's just not as
sharp.
Well, he's very intelligent. He ain't a shark. He's not a pit bull. He's not somebody that's gonna go in and destroy. He's a little too meek for that. So I feel like Kanye went and got himself another attorney at the last minute, right before this last hearing. So I'm eager to hear what that particular attorney is planning on doing.
Kanye need to call Justice Ketanji. Let her represent him.
No, you know who he needs? He needs that girl. What is the sister who was with Bill Cosby for just a little while?
Oh, Jennifer Bongine.
No,
that's the one that. Well, that's the woman that got him off.
Okay,
but is she a family law though? He needs somebody who's
criminal.
But she could probably recommend somebody. The sister with the crop cut that was in LA. What is her name? She studied under Johnny Cochran.
Oh, I know you're talking about, but I can't remember her name.
Sean somebody. She's really good though. She could probably recommend somebody.
He definitely needs that. I mean, I do see some comments in the about Pete needs to run too. Let me tell you something. Pete's exactly right where he's at.
Where he wants to be.
And he ain't going nowhere. His mama already wants them to have babies. So this is a red flag.
Yeah.
Maybe he might pull a Kim on her, and he might take $1 billion from her for his baby.
The bag.
Yes. That's a good point. He might.
He's trying to secure the bag.
Well, word on the curb is he ain't really as interested in her as he is in the daughter. Now that's allegedly.
I wouldn't be surprised. Be surprised.
Everything stated in this video is opinion, interpretation, and conjecture. The only factual statements are those made of the panelists in their personal experiences. But that's just what they say. Now, I don't know.
Hallelujah.
But the good thing for Kanye, the one good thing for Kanye is that if they're able to go forward in family law in California, both parents at the baseline, it's 50-50 custody. So his chances are pretty good. And so the women don't just get custody because we're the mothers here. You have to fight for it. So, that's a good thing.
That's very different than Wisconsin.
Is it?
And
Oh
Maryland.
my gosh, they'll hand the mother.
Mm.
I thought I've mentioned this before, but yeah, we had to fight for my oldest granddaughters, for my son to get full custody and placement. She's biracial, and it was a fight. And she was having substance issues and all kinds of stuff, DV in the home, substance issues, and the guardian ad litem was still gonna hand her right over.
Oh no.
Oh yes, he was.
Not in California. If you look up California law, they will tell you it's basically a 50-50 state. Fathers have just as much rights as the mothers, period. Now you might get primary, which you may get more time, but the children typically, because everybody told me that her dad was going to get joint primary, and I said I don't want her life disrupted like that. No way. So I had to fight a lot. 3 years of fighting.
Wow,
that's a long time.
What were you gonna say, Chronicles?
I was gonna ask Mom to tell you guys my story.
What do you want me to tell, babe?
About you getting full custody of me.
Oh, well, I had smart people. we have connections in the law here. And in government. So I was told what to do. I had a great lawyer, Lord rest his soul. His law partner is still good, just as much as he was. That if I wanted to get full custody, I had to get full custody because my child was not my child. Even though I birthed him and had him all the way up to age 1, I still had to get full custody. So he told me, go to child services, get non-support started. They will give you full custody, and then you won't even have to pay me a dime.
Wow.
Yes. So I tell anyone, you must get custody of your child if you're not married. Even if you're married, they still get it.
Yeah.
That's advice.
You have to get it, women. You have to. You do not have custody of your children just because you birthed them.
No, but also, and I know there's not any women listening to hear, if you a trash mother, give your baby up to the daddy so the daddy and the grandmama and them can take care of your child, please.
Amen.
Absolutely. Yes.
I know ain't got no trash mamas listening, but if you happen to know one,
right,
let her know Auntie Lisa said, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. But and by the same token, fathers need to, I think it's almost a situation of whether you're married or not, or what's going on. Like if you're living together, whatever the case is, like immediately the two, you need to decide on custody and here it's custody and placement. So you immediately need to put something in writing and file it with the courts, so that if there should be a breakup of some kind, we're not battling later. Right? Because if we are good fathers, right, we shouldn't stop them from being in their children's lives. And I think that's a big part of the problem I see with Kim. If she's making that.
They need to step up and take their place.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa, do you think she's trying to prevent him from being in the kid's life? Because some of what he says, it sounds like we'll hear one story that he was barred from coming into the house. And I think, like in my situation, we're not preventing the fathers from being with the children. We're preventing you from having access to us at any given time like you had previously. So I kind of feel like like Kanye was saying, he couldn't just go in, security stop them. Well, yeah, you can't just walk up in her house anymore, nor can she do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would agree with you, except for the fact that he also has factual He's been able to prove it that she literally has kept North from him, specifically North from him, when it was already predetermined that North would be there. Be it Sunday service, be it flying to Chicago so that she could see, part of the legacy of what her father is passing down to her and the other 3 children. She had been allowing him to go and take the kids to school and come after school or whatever and be with them. And then, then all of a sudden just stops on a dime. I don't believe anything that she says, because she's been proven too many times to be a liar. And if she is indeed a narcissist, we got to look through everything she says through the narcissist lens.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we also have to look at it and say that, again, once you go through these parenting schedules, if he asked for the kids to come and she agreed, North is 8. My daughter was 8 when our situation started. Maybe North didn't want to go. I mean, as a parent, I would never prevent my daughter from spending time with her dad. We didn't have those issues. But if it was not his designated time, the other kids are younger. Maybe they were agreeable to go. And North is 8. She kind of has her own thoughts. Maybe she didn't want to.
I don't know. You going? I don't give a damn. You
see, I wasn't that kind of mother though. See, for me, no, you have a voice.
No. You don't. No. You have a voice in some things, but when it comes to ensuring that you have a solid relationship with your father, you do not. If there's no but. If
there's a parenting schedule, I don't know if you guys watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is something that's being debated just this week when Melody didn't let the kids go to the book signing. On a superficial level, I totally get what you're saying, but oftentimes it's a little bit deeper. Well, I don't know. I really can't call it.
This was scheduled back, my understanding from, neither party is denying this. From both accounts, this was scheduled all the way back in November, that North and the kids, all the 4 kids, would fly to Chicago in early January so that they could spend some holiday time with Dad. And then he was going to have them do different things in Chicago. Matter of fact, he moved the date of the basketball tournament just to accommodate them flying. He moved everything around just to accommodate them flying into Chicago so they would be able to be in attendance for this tournament that is a part of the basketball league that Kanye has started and owns.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
And at the last minute, matter of fact, she didn't even give him the common courtesy of calling him ahead of time. He didn't know until the children were already in the air and on their way that North was not going to be on the plane. And the excuse was so that she could go to a sleepover. That's not an excuse.
And I'm going to tell you that those are conversations and situations that I have personally been in. And if it was my parenting time and we made arrangements and my daughter said she didn't want to do it and it was my time, I didn't make her do it. And that's just me. However, let me tell you this too. There have been times when I have made changes to accommodate the schedule, even when it was not my time. And when I asked the same of the father, it wasn't reciprocated. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind.
Narcissistic mother, sweetheart.
Well, yeah.
And you're dealing with a narcissistic ex.
Yeah.
See, so we gotta not look at it through our lens, because we're not narcissists, right? We're gonna think about things with a, here we go, logic, right? Here you go.
Yep.
Right. We ain't looking at it through a Kim Kardashian. I done tried to put my man in my now soon to be ex-husband in a whole conservatorship so I can get a hold of all his $6.8 billion.
Right.
I'm trying to make him look crazy and,
Right.
and put him in a 5150 so I can get them $4 billion that these children is worth. Let me turn my eldest daughter against her father.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So that I can get a hold of the 1 billion at least she's worth. And if I could turn her against and give her a voice, then all of a sudden now the courts ain't got no choice but to listen. You see what I'm saying? This is something they are insidious, horrible people, in my humble opinion.
Did you call her a whore?
No.
Yes.
I may have stressed the first part of the word horrible.
Okay, you said a little too hard. I was like, did you just call this woman a whore?
Yeah,
That's why he
Not
relocated
on this
to
Palm
Wyoming.
Sunday. You gonna start this, Dr. Lisa?
Listen, but you shall set you free, honey. Jesus died for
Amen.
everybody's sins, baby,
Amen.
and hers
She
too.
is no
So
Mary Magdalene, okay?
That's why he
sure
got
like,
that's why he got out of Dodge in California. He went to somewhere else so he can
He went to the farm in
strategically
Oregon
exactly.
Wyoming.
or Wyoming. Thank you.
Wyoming, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
why
get
he
this.
skedaddled from California.
And get this, the town that he moved to is one of the most racist towns in America.
Oh God.
Not for him, but for
If
someone
he
like
got
us.
For
dollars,
him,
it don't
yes.
matter.
When I say for him, he has the resources to kind of live remote from everybody else and be okay. Now, if it was one of us, we would have no choice but to live in close proximity to those kind of people where it would be problematic or dangerous.
Let me tell you who else moved there. Jeffree Star.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, that's what they were saying, that them two was in a relationship. When they trying to say that they was kind of seeing
Yep.
themselves at one point in
They
time.
did.
Now, I don't know
Allegedly.
how true that is or not. That would be a little bit
Allegedly.
of a stretch for me, for Mr. Kanye. That'd be a lot of stretch.
That's a
Listen,
lot of stretch.
he's from the music industry in Hollywood. Nothing blows my mind
Jeffree
anymore.
Star.
That's true too.
It don't
Jeffree
matter.
Star.
These people like to lay low, spread it wide, lick it
Come
all the way
on,
around with each
man.
other.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. You made my stomach turn on that one.
Yes, that was a little much. That was a little much.
That hurt.
I mean,
That
I
hurt.
agree with all the smoke though, because you never know. Sometimes they're with the person for the name. You just don't know.
But Jeffree Star, you mean Jeffree the other way around? Because it wouldn't benefit
Star's trying
Kanye
to
to be
get
with
clout.
him at all. But then again, Smoke, I'm gonna give you some credence to this, because you know he had Marilyn Manson up there
Yes.
at one of his Sunday
At the
services.
show.
And that
And
Did
really
he
that could go
really?
against
Jeffree Star
him
to
too.
me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no! If you
That could
have
go
that
against him
man,
as well.
if you're having is he convicted or is it alleged still with Marilyn Manson?
Right now, he's there. There's some court dealings.
I think it's still alleged.
Okay,
It's
so
still alleged right now. He has 2 accusers, famous accusers.
yeah, so if you're gonna have an alleged sexual abuser in your church service with probably young women that probably go there, is like, do people not understand optics of things?
I think it was the church service. Don't get me wrong. Now, I could be wrong. Let me not say that. And I know for sure, though, he had him up on one of his Donda 2 rollout stages. Now,
I think the one in Chicago.
I think he had, I want to say he had him in the church. I'll verify that. But, you know, he's like all about this forgiveness. You know, Lord help me. I said it the wrong way. But he's, you know, everybody can be forgiven kind of situations. You know what I'm saying?
But if that's the case, then why would it be okay for, if it's not okay for Pete to be around him? I mean, you got to think. It's not that far-fetched.
Time out.
He's talking on both sides of his neck.
North was not sitting on Marilyn Manson's lap.
No, but we're not saying that. We're talking about being in the presence, though. No, but okay. But wait, but we have to, we're going to the courts. We're talking about what you can go and allege and say. If you're talking about a person's history, he has not been accused. We as Black people know that you can't sit on nobody's lap, but that's over and done with. They're not even going to care about that. That's like, oh, well, people have different beliefs. Sorry, we don't believe it, but everybody don't believe that. Everybody doesn't believe that it's wrong for
You're
kids to sit
nasty
on
if
the
you
person's
don't. I
lap.
don't give a
They
damn
sit.
if you
Wait,
get mad at me or not.
They
You're
sit.
nasty.
But Lisa, they sit on
I'm just
Santa
saying
Claus'
that.
lap. They sit on Santa's lap. Come on, they sit on Santa's lap.
You're nasty if
That's
you
why
I
I
can
agree.
met
let your
Santa.
8-year-old daughter sit on. First of all, my kids didn't sit on laps. They stood next to a knee, and I made sure what was the hell's going on, because that's the kind of mama I am. Second of all, you're nasty if you're letting your 8-year-old daughter or son sit on a man's lap that just got done making comments and ha ha he. Ain't nothing funny about what you said about what you thought how you got aroused around children. That's
Right.
not funny, my
Mm-hmm.
nigga. Oh, sorry
You right.
guys, but
You
that's
done
not
called them the N
funny.
word.
I mean,
My
But
bad,
really,
y'all, but that's not funny.
but we're
it's
just
really,
saying that both of them are in situations that can be argued
The
where
kids
they.
were not around Marilyn Manson.
But
No, they're
no, are
not.
we sure about that? Are we sure about that?
Yes, because the
Yeah.
kids were in LA during this time period.
Okay, I gotta go see if I can find a receipt about that.
You
Because
go ahead.
if that's his social circle, again, if I was making the case, I would bring up the Marilyn Manson, the person he runs with. That's a friend. My kids would possibly be exposed to them at parties and social events. I'm just saying, his attorney can make. I mean, her attorney can make the case as well.
I'm hearing you, but I don't think that he could prove that it could be proven that them kids are around that kind of element.
But you have to. But you cannot say who she can be around if you are around that type of individual. So now
Yes,
you're
I can.
getting.
I can tell. Yes. Oh, yes, we can.
No, what you can say it, but then, but if you can have my daughter around, um, Marilyn Manson, because I'm gonna say, let's look at it from attorney's
Absolutely.
perspective.
Okay, cool, baby. This what we're gonna do. You can't have my kids around nobody that's running around making all these comments about getting aroused around little children, and I ain't gonna have the kids around Marilyn Manson. Bet.
Well, yeah, that's a fair trade.
Bet
That's
done.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I ain't got no
yeah.
problem with that, homie. Cause see, I'm not laying down with Marilyn Manson, so I don't care. But this the kind of person you want to lay down. What you say? Do it
Lay
low
it
and
low
spread it
and spread
wide.
it wide.
Yeah.
Lay it
Uh,
low and
Lay
spread
low
it
and spread
wide.
it wide.
Very
Lay
Make it
wide.
low and
all
spread it
around.
wide.
According to
If
Miss
that's the
Ebony
kind of
and
person that
Braxton.
you wanna make children with this one, you go feel free and do it. But my kids is not gonna be around that because my kids are not gonna be the test dummies to make sure to see whether or not this man's joke is gonna come to life. That's what we're not gonna do.
But you know what? The problem with the courts is that it happens all the time. What we want
I
to
agree
happen.
with you. I'm
Yeah.
not
What we
disagreeing with
want,
Mm-hmm.
what, see, let me tell you, I fought, look, I can't say everything because, family court, you're not even really supposed to discuss it, legally, but so many things that I was against and things that I didn't do as a mother, my daughter being around women dancing together. Why should a child be anywhere where adult women are drinking liquor and dancing, women to women, whatever they were doing? I didn't do it, so I didn't want my kid to do it around her dad's girlfriend. I didn't think, but the court said, oh, well, when she's with
Mm.
her dad, he is the father, the parent. He has a right to da 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 da. So what we want always the court does not mandate,
I completely
unfortunately.
understand that, but that's why I just said you can't have my kid around anybody that does this kind of crazy mess and says it's on national television and we all think it's supposed to be and I won't have the kids around Marilyn Manson. Go.
But you know what? Who gets to decide that? The judge. That's the problem.
Well, the smart thing would be to come up with this
Mm.
plan ahead of time. Because I'm gonna
Exactly.
tell you something. He's being smart right now by not saying anything. The best way to get
Right.
to get at a narcissist, if we're gonna bring this back around, to get
Uh-huh.
at a
Mm-hmm.
narcissist and win against a narcissist, especially in court,
Keep their
is
ass in the
to
dark.
not say
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Anything. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will spin themselves. Because that, you know what? Then it's happening. Remember that cycle I showed everybody?
Yeah.
Those of you that were here earlier, I had a whole cycle thing. What
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
happens is you cut them off. All of a sudden, they're not getting supply from you. They're not getting any reaction from you. They're not getting anything. It's called gray rocking. And when you don't give them anything, and you've been one of, if not the primary suppliers for them of this really good grade A energy, that they can just suck the life out of you with. See, she was all skinning and grinning the minute he's going off. Why? Because she's in his head. She knows she's in his head. She knows she still exerts control. I can do this and you'll jump. I can say this and you'll lose your mind. I could do this and you're going to go plumb lily crazy and make yourself look stupid. That's her control. Now he's not saying the word. She don't know what to do. So
and she chooses the right kid too.
Control. Go ahead, baby. What?
And she chooses the right kid to do it as well.
Yep.
Yeah, his
Right.
oldest.
Strategically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
She strategically does it with the oldest. Not too much with the young ones, but definitely with Miss North.
Right.
Because she could turn the young.
It's a button.
So
yeah, it's a button for him.
So now she's going to kind of continue to do her mess unfettered, right? Without Kanye being a distraction from us looking and seeing what Kim's doing. And what has already happened. Oh, looky here. She thought it was cute to put this whole video out with North on Pete's lap. That backfired pretty quickly, didn't it? See, she's going to do stuff that's going to cheat because she can't help it. That's going to turn public opinion against her. And from what I'm hearing, the Hulu show is really going to make them look crazy. So
it already is.
I haven't seen the Hulu show.
Now, the one thing that I thought was bizarre is that they said Pete finally meets Kim's kids, and then North was sitting in his lap, and I'm thinking, first of all, just my parenting, no, we don't sit on laps. That's just not something we do. My daughter don't even have a picture with Santa Claus ever. But even if she did sit on the very first day you meet the man, she's in his lap. Like, I was just like, I don't even believe that was the first meeting because that's just too familiar. That was just no way.
Absolutely not.
They had been hanging out.
She would have dragged Kim from hell to high water with that.
She wouldn't even allow the marriage. She wouldn't even allow marriage.
It's hard.
It's ridiculous. So, absolutely, like you just can't. You can't. She's gonna make herself look stupid, and with all this, don't go against the family like y'all, like a mob family. Well, we already knew y'all was the mafia anyway. So now y'all really just helping my case. Like, by the time they get done, this, I bet you this whole thing, the Hulu show, is going to give Kanye more than enough ammunition to win his case. He just got to lay low.
So
I'm really glad that he's being quiet because I'm sure, Lisa, when you go through these cases, they will always tell you, be quiet. Let the other parent rant and rave because they will say enough to hang themselves. And it's so hard when you are in front of the mediator, especially if you feel like the person is lying. You lying, but they will tell you, sit there calmly, nod, because they are looking at everything that you do can and will be used against you. So it's good that Kanye is toning it down now.
What were you going to say, Smoke?
Not saying like anything he says can and will be used against him in the court of law, so he best be quiet.
Absolutely.
I'm just
yeah. Well, guys, y'all been hanging out with me for 2 hours. Y'all,
wow,
good conversation, good people.
We had to get the foundation and then talk about it.
Now, I will give you a precursor. I'm going to have another live show this week because it just came to my attention that Mr. Kevin Samuels himself.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Lord.
Did y'all hear what that man said?
What did you say now?
What did he say?
What?
I don't pay attention.
There was a woman on his show or on his Instagram Live, and I don't know how the conversation came up, but he asked this woman, if you were dating or married to a man and your child came to you and said that something had occurred, okay?
Oh, yeah.
What would you do? And she said she would go to the police because she's going to believe her child. And he was basically like, you wouldn't even question your child at all.
Wow.
Kids lie all the time.
Kids lie all the time. That's what he said. He's crazy.
My youngest daughter was over here because she's putting together a social media marketing company, and I'm helping her. So, because that's what we do. Okay, that's what we do.
Mm.
So anyway, she said, "Ma, did you hear what Kevin said with Crazy Bus said?" I said, "Child, no. I try not to listen to them during manosphere people because they piss me off. They piss me off.
Mm.
They send me into a whole nother stratosphere. I don't like being over there. I kind of like being cool, but I get to fussing and cussing with the manosphere people." So she told me that. I said, "Baby, send me that." Child, she sent me that. It sent me into another world. I said, I've been waiting to get in y'all's behind. So we gonna get in the manosphere behind because I have had it. I am done. I do this every once in a while. Last year I got in Kevin Samuels' behind again. But this time, baby, I'm gonna convene. I'm gonna convene the circle, the council,
The ancestors,
the ancestors.
the
We
prayer
gotta go.
line.
Mother
We gotta
Gaia.
go.
Hit them
Lisa, can we
drums.
get him over here so we can can we get him on the line so we can? He said, "Do we know kids lie?" Are you crazy, sir?
What child lies about being
Oh,
abused
wow.
or touched
Oh,
inappropriately?
let me tell you something.
I
You
did
ask him
a
that, he's gonna
research
have all
paper.
kinds of statistics.
I did a research paper along with my brother about that subject.
Mm.
How we need to protect the kids a lot more better when it comes to
Yes.
children abuse. So I did a full research, and I'm a research junkie at its finest. So I believe he got an A on that because it was a group effort, but I definitely helped him out on that.
Okay. We need to convene the drum circle, something.
We need the whole circle. We need to collect all everybody from all the four corners of the sectors because I want to annihilate this man. I have had it.
Yeah.
You have drug women through the mud. Now, granted, we let him, but I can't help but some of y'all silly and let him do some crazy stuff. But what I'm not gonna sit here and let you do is I'm not gonna sit here and let you invalidate and disregard our children
Yes.
for your overinflated,
Ego.
unrealistic, egotistical view of self. Because last I checked, sir, you are a divorced, lonely, single man. Last I
Amen.
checked, there's no women that show up in your bed in the background. But last I checked.
Are we sure he's not on the DL?
Think that's
Well, now I seen with my own two eyes that it wasn't a woman that was in the background. But
I'm just gonna put my blindfold on.
but let me tell you something. Your preference is your preference. I got no
Right.
problem with your sexuality now. But what I'm gonna need you to do is stop coming for us.
Exactly.
That's what
Amen.
I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need you to stop giving advice to men about and advice to women if they want a so-called high value man. I don't want if what you do is high value and who you represent as high value, I want nothing to do with you or your people or your kind.
I feel like he's gonna be the next one that has a video that someone leaks. He's gonna be the next pastor that was caught with that man in the
Oh yeah.
hotel.
And I
That
wish
right,
he would quit telling women about, oh, what you look like without your lashes and your wig on. When, sir, you have a whole man weave. Your hairline started in the center of your head. We know what you're doing. Stop it.
I like
laughs.
LaShane, I love you. But I understand with the viewpoint I raised 3 kids, got 2 grandbabies. I know what he was saying. Children lie all the time. Why would you just believe him? You got to read the room, sir. This ain't the time
Children
or the
are
place. You need to
innocent.
keep that inside voice inside. Don't say the quiet parts out loud because you look like a whole fool out here, and you're always the first one, sir. And I'm not attacking you, dear. I'm just, I'm just hot. So you're the first person to come out here and say that, you mean what you say what you mean. So I'm going to take you at your word because that's what we're supposed to do with you manosphere people, isn't it? I almost used the N-word again. Stop yourself. That's what we're supposed to do with you, ain't it? So I'm going to have to take you at your word, Holmes, and I'm going to hang you by him. You're going to
I
choke
always
on him
thought
with
he
me.
did that because he was impotent and no woman would have him.
Okay,
Not
okay, bring
impotent,
it.
not
Baby, no,
impotent,
that's what we
not
call
impotent,
it.
child.
Bring
I
it
almost
back.
spit
Bring
out
it
my
back. Bring
drink.
it back.
Get him his
I
blue
almost spit
pill,
out my
y'all. Get him his blue
Pedialyte.
pill. He need it.
Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all.
Sorry about that.
Lisa,
I'm sorry.
put up your
Wait, that's
banner. Put up your
unfiltered,
banner.
Sorry.
child.
Read it
That's
for us
called real and
again.
unfiltered.
Read the banner again for us.
Everything
I'm
stated in this
Child.
video is opinion, interpretation, and conjecture. The only factual statements are those of the panelists' personal experiences. Oh, Jesus, help
Well,
If
us,
I'm
he
gonna
was
God.
say
near
for a
me, I
fact
would have
that's
snatched
a
him back.
male weave on his head. That's a fact.
Okay.
Okay.
Except for
Oh,
the male weave on the head.
If he was near me hard, I would have snatched him.
I would love to see that, by the way.
Oh, Bren.
Oh my God.
oh, Miss
I'm sorry if
Lisa.
someone said,
Yes.
I just thought that was the reason why he was doing all this.
Well, he could be on the down low, baby. He could be on the down low and just don't want to come out and admit it. But he's made a lot of money from it. So, you like it, I love it, but you're gonna leave them kids alone.
Right.
Yes, Miss Melinda.
The kids.
To switch gears, I was in the bushes at Conscious TV, and he was breaking the news about Kurt Franklin's son and his arrest, and he was shouting out to the universe to relay a message of you possibly running the charts on him and see what's going on in the atmosphere and the stars and constellations.
Wait, but he sent you as the universe's messenger.
What?
Okay. I have no idea what.
Okay. So this is what had happened, y'all. This is what had happened. Let me just bring this back around, and then we don't get off this.
I need to take a.
We
I
won't
need
get
to
off
take
these
a sip.
YouTubes. Okay, listen.
I need to
This is
take
what
a
had
sip.
happened earlier today. It was broke on Larry Reed live on his channel, on his live show. That what is the man's boy's name? Carry On. That oh God, who's his daddy? I can see him.
Kirk Franklin.
Thank
Kirk
you.
Franklin.
Carry On Franklin, Kirk Franklin's son, eldest son, not by his current wife, is in jail right now facing, is it actual complete unalived? Someone, we can't say that word. Unaliving, or is it attempted unaliving?
The car that he was driving, it was registered under someone who was unalived. It was a stolen car. He was driving.
Oh wow!
And the fact that there was a pow in the vehicle, and the car was registered under this person that was unalive. He was like, okay, I need Miss Lisa to do the charts and see what's going on and the going on. And so due to the fact that
he was in a vehicle of someone that was unalived, and there was a hammer in the car.
What?
The person's car that he was driving,
was unalive.
The person is already unalive, but but at the same time he didn't know that the car was stolen, and it's alleged that he didn't know that there was a pow in the car as well. And so due to the fact that he has some allegedly charges from Texas, he had been extradited from LA to Texas, and these charges don't have no bond.
Wow!
So Daddy can't even save him if he wanted to.
All the smoke. Did you say wow? That sounds like my daughter. Wow.
That's a lot going on.
That's a lot. Heart of Inspiration, I have a question for you. If you could also read what's going on with this that white chick that killed that black guy with the tweet. I'm forgetting the name.
IG,
yes. Is it red rum or is it self-defense?
Can I tell you what I heard when I asked about it?
What you hear?
Red rum. When I asked,
that's what I'm thinking.
I said, is this or is this that? They told me when I asked, well, this is red rum.
Okay. That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's what I heard from the on high.
Oh,
I'm lost, but we can
Me
talk.
Okay,
too.
you remember the IG model? Where did this
Yes.
happen? Florida, that unalived with a sharp object, a young rapper.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
So
remember
she's
that case.
claiming self-defense
By reason of insanity.
right.
by reason that he's black.
Got
And
it.
she's not, she hasn't been arrested. She's been seen out in public at a hotel. And she also posts after hours after his unalive. She has a video that surfaced on OnlyFans. How could you unalive somebody and then post a video if you're
Was it a
insane?
live video? She went live on OnlyFans?
Now, I don't know if it was a live video.
Oh, Melinda's over there listening. I typed in there, Melinda.
Okay.
If you want to
Yes,
head
ma'am.
over there and tell them that Miss Lisa's on her way, she'll be there in a minute.
Okay, I surely will.
Go deliver the message from the universe. Tell them you was the angel that came over here and told me.
I was in the bushes and I was like, okay, he done shout the hell out. Let me relay the message.
She's on her way.
Miss Lisa, I have a question for you. I was planning to do a show about the IG model. Can you do a reading on my channel, and I'll definitely compensate you for your time because I want to talk
could
about
charge
it.
people for that. But yes,
Listen,
I would do
I'm
it.
used to paying my way. I don't care,
Good
but I want
child.
because everybody work. It's about business, right?
It's about business, but that's
yeah.
cool.
Okay.
So Sonny, I felt some type of way. Let me put it this way. I'm not taking it to the streets. Right? This is not going to be a protesting situation. Because for me, you made certain choices that might sound horrible.
We all agree with you.
I mean, it's bad to say, and I'm a very forgiving, loving person, but I am not God, nor am I Jesus Christ. So, since I'm neither two of those, nor am I Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, keep naming them. I ain't now. Gandhi, Mother Teresa,
Mary Clarence, Sister Mary
Clarence. I ain't none of them. Okay.
Amen.
So when you repeatedly say negative things about an entire race classification, melanated status of people, of women, I can't have a whole lot of sympathy for you. Like if your preference can be whatever it is, I have zero issue with that. None. Just don't bring me anger, vitriol, and vileness. Why are you talking about me? I'm not even, again, see, I almost said it. Y'all be catching me in these conversations. I almost slip. Look, my ninja. No, you go over there. I wasn't bothering you. I didn't say nothing to you. You go over there and do you, man. Cool. Right? So that's my problem. But then, like OJ, historically, then when they get in trouble, then they come on home because they want us to take care of them.
And clean up the mess.
And clean up their mess.
Yeah.
Now we let OJ do it. I ain't finna let too many more.
Right. I mean, we're mourning for you, but I mean, that's about it. And we're going to throw up the fist for you, but next.
We're not dragging people to the streets.
No, we can't. You already told us to butt out. We don't belong. So what can we do? You've already said we're to this and to that. So why would we negate what you said?
I'm gonna keep my this and that over here then.
Right.
See, because you would have needed my this and that if you would have treated me right. Then my loud voice would have been heard. But
right. You've judged me.
You shushed me. And I'm just going to adhere to your wishes, sir.
Well, let me stop laughing because I understand a lot of the African women are coming out complaining about us African American women and the fact that we're not in support of him. And I'm not saying that I'm not in support. It's just I'm mourning. It's sad what happened but that's about my extent of it. It's kind of sort of like after I found out the Ukrainians weren't allowing Black people to get on the buses, the Africans to get on the train, then my perspective of my pain and empathy kind of waned a little for that as well. It's like, oh, well, if that's how we go treat him.
Was he an African rapper? Am I missing something there?
I don't know if he was a rapper.
Was he an African artist or something? Am I missing? Why are they caring how we feel?
Like her, I believe.
Huh?
I think he was an influencer like she was.
But I'm trying to understand why it matters to them.
Because they're African. Wasn't he Nigerian?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Is he from Africa?
Well,
yeah, they said he was Nigerian.
Yeah, he was Nigerian.
Okay, well, still, now you've learned a hard lesson. Don't come over here running your mouth. You ain't even from here.
Stop.
Don't come over here running your mouth, talking ill about us, because you feel some type of way because you came straight from the motherland. Why don't you try to understand what we've been through, my ninja, and then maybe we can figure this out.
But but that's how they treat us, though. You already know that.
Listen, I know I had the girl that does my hair, she's Gambian, her husband is Gambian. I've created a wonderful relationship with them, and now I've been able to meet some others. And so I understand why they feel in certain instances, I do get it, right? In some instances.
Right.
My thing is, though, like I've told all of them, y'all got to try to understand the history and the DNA, right? You got to understand the energies that have been passed down from generation to generation. They're very different from yours.
Exactly.
And while I understand, and I admire yours, you got to also see us in the situation we're in and that we have been in, because that's not been your situation. Now, you've had some other issues on your, side of the ocean that I would love to be able to help and talk about and talk through. You know what I'm saying? And instead of downgrading and denigrating us and devaluing us, how about you just kind of introducing this very powerful, magnificent, beautiful, magical energy into our culture, So again, don't come over here shooting off at the mouth.
Right.
Don't come over here with that. Now you got listen, you wanted that. That's what you got. I'm so sorry, but no, I'm not mounting up to help you. I don't care if you're from the motherland or not. I don't care if you're from the motherland or from Cleveland. I'm not mounting up to help you. I'm not doing it. Not going. So, my bad.
Plus, it takes a mentally capacitated individual to tolerate somebody who is in that industry that does, OnlyFans and so forth and so on. It takes a very strong, mentally capacitated individual to handle that and not be so bashy towards other people.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Well, I suppose OnlyFans, you're not actually.
It depends on what
that's an after dark conversation.
Yeah, we taking a wrong turn.
So Anna's just letting us know that the students got out of Ukraine. So Anna is of Ukrainian and Russian descent, just so you know, and she's one of my mods. She's on my day one. So, this is she's bringing it from that perspective, and she and I have talked about that, right? So, it was very much, I think, unfortunate because we saw a lot of mothers and with small children in arms that weren't being allowed to leave either.
Yes.
And that was extremely problematic, to say the least. She's Nigerian descent. Okay. Hey, Nico. All right, y'all. See, now y'all gonna get me in trouble. So let me get off of here because I'm getting in more trouble and I'm almost slipping with the N words. And then people are gonna be like, dang, I thought she was cool. But
part of this correction, can I just say I just want to say thank you for allowing us to have robust conversations as the hostess. That you allow us to not just have to agree with you, to have our opinion, and to be so cool and calm with it. I just appreciate you. I love the energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
I
Thank
love it.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, love it.
For the
I
pearls of
appreciate it.
wisdom and allowing me to well, not just me, all of us to speak our minds and gain wisdom
Yes.
along the way.
Yes.
Thank you. I love doing that. I
Mhm.
absolutely love doing it because this is to me is how it should be, right?
Yes.
Right.
This is how it should be. Even though my channel's like spirituality, I feel like we can have these conversations and still be very spiritually aware and like bring it in on a real deep level.
Amen.
Um, and
Of
speaking
course.
speaking of which, guys, I don't know why I don't have this up, but I'm really bad. I have the next, oh, it is down here, Lightworker Liftoff, which is like if any of you guys are thinking about, hey, I would like to start some sort of a spirit-based or heart-centered business. What that looks like is like if you're thinking about becoming a life coach, but you want to be more like in the spiritual life coaching realm. If you read cards, if you read astrology, want to learn. If you want to learn to be an energy healer, or you already are, if you're a shaman right now, or anything in that nature, I want you to consider signing up. It's April 13th and 14th. It's only an hour and a half each day. And actually, I've got like a morning or kind of noontime Eastern and evening time this time. So consider signing. Go to up for that. Go to that website, lightworkerliftoff.com. I'm going to teach you how to launch your business in 2 days. I know that sounds crazy, right? In 2
Wow.
days, I'm going to teach you. It's absolutely free, or you could do VIP. I'll teach you how to launch your business in 2 days. Okay.
I live my own life, so I don't know the first thing about life coaching.
That's okay, honey. Listen, this is if this is already something that people you're thinking about doing, that's what kind of I've designed this for. And I'll continue to have them, but if you want to come to this month, that'd be great. Right before I go to my vacation, that's what I'm doing in New Orleans. Melinda actually was in the last one, weren't you? No, the first one in
Mm,
February.
yeah, the February one.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
excellent. I love it. I'm in the program now.
Yeah. And
And I join every morning.
she's decided to work with me further. So getting her business going. So guys, come on and sign up, spend a couple days with me and my coaches, and we will get you moving right along. All right. I'm gonna let you guys like say some last words. Hey Adrian, how are you?
Oh, who was it?
Oh no, I'm sorry. So anybody have any last words they want to say here before we kind of wrap it up?
Just pray for the children.
Don't date narcs.
Okay.
Don't date who?
I love
Narcs?
y'all.
Don't date narcs.
I'm already
Yes, Brother
Because
Pat.
baby, when they get you in and they know and they got that toxic good, mm-mm.
Oh yeah, that
Okay,
that good. You
period.
gotta watch out for that.
So like,
Mm-hmm.
don't do it.
New Orleans.
If your instincts are telling you something is off with somebody, believe it the first time. Don't wait for like to go through
Mm-hmm.
years of like
Yeah,
being made to be boo boo the fool.
That's
Amen.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
that's
Amen
true.
to that.
Yeah.
Amen.
All right, gang. Well, I'm gonna get us going here because I'm pretty sure I'm not sure what's going on since I'm being summoned. I better get on out here. So if you guys want to come over with me over to Conscious TV, it's Conscious with a Z TV. I guess
Ooh.
I'm running a chart and I'm seeing what in the God's name is going on with Carry On.
Oh
All
boy.
right, gang. Peace,
All
love,
right.
blessings.
Thank
Peace and
you.
love. Bye
Thank
everyone.
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. All
Bye.
right. We're going to do our exit here. So, peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys so much. Namaste, guys. Bye.